Wanderers, welcome to the Wondering Dutchmen podcast, Season 2, Episode 31. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends at St. Anthony Tire and Auto.
New sponsor alert, St. Anthony Tire and Auto Center is a proud supporter of your Wondering Dutchman podcast. St. Anthony Tire and Auto Center is more than just tires and autos, though. For instance, let's talk trailers. From Homesteader to Heartland, they've got it all. Dump trailers, utility trailers, enclosed trailers, tilt trailers, and more. Need maintenance or repairs? Their service team has got you covered. Speaking of experience, their service team boasts multiple members with over 30 years of experience working on UTVs, ATVs, lawnmowers, and more. From routine maintenance to complex repair, they've got the skills to keep your machines running smoothly. And did we mention anything about vehicles yet? They also specialize in large-scale and auto repairs and services, from engine and transmission replacements to tire changes. Our mechanics are EFI certified and ready to tackle any challenge, not just tires and oil changes, my friend. So what are you waiting for? Call 812-326-2550 to schedule an appointment or learn more about what we can provide for you. Visit them at 3991 East State Road 64, St. Anthony, Indiana, 47575. Look for the historic white brick building just off of the highway. They're proud to be a veteran-owned small business serving our community with top-quality products and exceptional service. Stop by and see them today and tell them the Dutchman sent you.
The Wondering Dutchmen podcast.
Where none of us are Dutch, but we all live in Holland, Indiana. Join us where we talk about what we all wonder about. This is the Wondering Dutchman podcast coming to you from Smoker's Lounge.
The Wondering Dutchmen. Yeah, yeah. The Wondering Dutchmen. Yeah, yeah.
Here we go. Welcome to the Wondering Dutchman podcast, Season 2, Episode 31, coming to you from Smoker's Lounge. Sitting across from me with a beautiful mustache is our buddy, Big Mace.
Hola.
Sitting in the middle with the rose-colored glasses and the ponytail, supporting the very nice-looking golf polo shirt from Nike, our buddy David Allen Smoker.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa, he says. I am your unofficial host, Casey, also known as
Esquire.
Sitting in the room. Our favorite diabetic is back from Mexico, Couch Guy. Sitting on the other end of the couch is none other than Mrs. Smoker.
Yeah, a little bit of eye candy in the corner.
Yeah, got the spotlights on her. Yeah. Hey, before we get into it, though, we've got to pay the bills around here, Smoke.
Got to keep them lights on.
Yeah, let's hear from this segment sponsor.
September is National Life Insurance Month. But you know what? You don't have to wait until September to talk to our buddy Matt Krieg of Krieg Insurance. Life insurance can be a tough topic. How much do you need? How much does it cost? What are the right plans for me? All great questions, and Matt Krieg can answer all of them. Give Matt a call today.
All right, here we go. That glizzy machine doesn't run on love alone.
Hopes and dreams.
Yeah, it needs a little bit extra.
We could figure out how to run it on cholesterol. We'd be set.
We'd be good. We'd be good after watching the only diabetic in the crew eat a ton of
gummy bears,
bag of gummy bears, a apple frappe chino.
Caramel latte macchiato.
Sipping a summer shandy over there. My blood sugar just got higher thinking about all that stuff. But Couch Guy, welcome back from Mexico. There was a lot of people apply for the Couch Guy seat. We unfortunately didn't. For you, fortunately, we did not look to hire anybody else. Outside of
nothing else, we're loyal.
Yeah, we are loyal. That is very true. So there we are. Big Mace, what is on your mind this week?
I've been really struggling with it lately. But we had an accumulative decision that was made this week on the job site. and it was like it was a no-brainer because we've really been dealing with some traffic issues. And I hate to say it, and I know it's a bold statement to say, but I do believe that I think there should be I think there should be an age that is set by someone that's smarter or wiser than me that would require people when they reach said age to take a mandatory hands-on driving test.
Oh, I can support this. I thought you were going to say you just can't drive because of your age.
No, negatory.
Like, are you talking about for our older citizens?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, like I don't know if like 70 needs to be the age or hell.
Go a little bit higher because Papa Frank is.
Well, but no, Papa Frank would be fine. He would pass with flying
But
colors.
there are probably some 70-year-olds that wouldn't.
I know there aren't.
There's
a shit ton of 70-year-olds that wouldn't. And I'm not. This is not a stab at 70-year-old people because there's shit tons of people that I know that are 70 years old that are completely fine.
Did you see that?
They could probably go drive a NASCAR race tomorrow if they had to.
So tell us what happened.
Oh my God, Casey, crane necking.
I do
driving.
a lot of that.
Well, yeah, me too. But like the utter disregard for traffic flow signage, like road closed, for example. It's like there is a minimum size that a
Did
sign.
you almost say gargantuan?
Yeah,
I feel like I haven't heard that word in a long time, and I'm really happy.
Yeah, it was a gargantuan sign. I was going to say this gargantuous.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But like, depending on the speed of the average speed of traffic flow on this, like on said roadway, determines on how big the road signage has to be.
You got to see it from farther away.
Yeah. So like that's why if you ever go down the interstate and like stop to piss, you see those signs on the interstate and they're
size.
You're huge.
Yeah.
Right.
Good size. Yeah.
So like our road signs in town are a lot smaller. Like on the side streets, I don't know. I'm not factually prepared.
It's okay.
Yeah, there's
this.
probably a percentage to distance average stopping.
Right. But like these
ratio.
signs that we use, and I'm just going to throw this number out there, and I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm going to say they're probably like a 4x4 square. That's too big. They're probably like a 3x3 square.
Mm-hmm.
But they're diamond shaped, right? And they say road closed, and they're bright reflective orange with black lettering.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like we've set those up, and you always set the road closed on the driving lane of the lane
around it. If you
like
live there,
they can get out.
Yeah. Or if you can go in if you live there.
But you can go in if you live there. So we go cone, sign, cone, open lane, cone. But the sign's always in the driving lane. So you have to go left of center to go around the road closed sign to enter our work area.
Yes.
Concrete trucks, 7 people, or 7 guys on a crew. We're raking concrete. I almost stuck my float pole through the window of a car the other day.
Now, what is a float pole?
Like I'm floating concrete. Like the
bull float.
The bull float. Yeah, you're floating.
Okay.
Got a big pole because we're doing a bigger driveway.
Yeah.
And it's like some 80-some-year-old man. And he's just like looking at me. And I'm getting ready to pull cue his windshield out. You know what? It's like you literally had to drive around the sign. But all they see is this really long, straight stretch of road with only a handful of guys down there and an open lane. And it's like, but I don't know, man.
So
it just blows us away.
So do you think it is people ignoring the signage to be nosy to see what's going on?
100%. That's definitely part of it.
Because that's what I was wondering, if it's people being nosy.
Yes.
See what's going on.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Or to your point, it's people that are just, I can get through and I'm going to go through.
Well, okay. So this is, for example, this is another instance in this. We've been on Chestnut Street for a long time.
I've been watching the progress on my drive to work.
We've been doing a lot of, we're
out on Chestnut.
Between
kind of next to the event center.
Between 14th and 17th, that whole hill.
So you take the bypass.
Oh, yeah.
You have to take the bypass all the time for it to be worthwhile.
Yep. And honestly, when I go through at between 4:45 and 5:15, there's
not a
never
soul
a train.
out there.
But, yeah,
I'm still sleeping for 2 more hours.
But the thing is okay, we had finished up and we were leaving the job and we were going to go up to said road closed sign. We are traveling southbound on this street, and we have entered our road closed zone, right?
Okay.
So you got cone, sign, cone in this lane,
Yeah.
and then you got an opening to get out, right? You're still in your lane, like you're going south,
Yeah.
and then, you're okay.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in that gap between cones with my left turn signal on. There's a turn lane for this road to be able to turn onto the street that is closed, but we have cones put up there
To kind of block it off.
to where they cannot enter the turn lane. Like we have tapered them into
Kind of like what happens on 4th Street when they set up.
Exactly. So we have tapered
things.
them into the normal flow of traffic lane. This guy, elderly gentleman, comes the wrong way, left of center around the turn lane taper, and is now sitting facing eastbound in a westbound lane, trying to turn north on a road that is closed. And then I'm sitting in the driver's seat in the southbound lane of the service truck, and I'm like, no, you got to keep going. So I'm motioning him, you have to keep going. Like, you got to keep going. And then he is like basically me with his hand. Like, no, I want to go that way. And I'm like, I'm pointing at the road closed sign. Like, no, the road is closed. At this point, he puts his right foot off of the brake and onto the gas, ramps up onto the sidewalk, into the curb, goes out into the grass that we had just fixed in the event center yard, like that whole bank that we tapered down, and then does mock Jesus down the branch. But he's scared to death to get on the road, so he rides the sidewalk all the way down to the dentist office.
Oh,
and we're all sitting in the truck looking at each other like, are you seeing this? Like, what is going, like, this is wild. But like, I don't know. Like, I think this, as I snowball and segue back to my, original statement.
That doesn't sound like a vision problem. That just sounds like a crotchety old man.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So there becomes this fine line of, I've already reached my F word limit for the show, but like, it's like they don't give two shits, there we go. Like their give a shit is gone.
Their meter is gone.
They're gone. Like I don't care.
I feel like maybe they've earned it. You don't know.
Oh yeah.
There are some that have earned it.
Yeah. Like if you're a cop or an ambulance driver or the mailman, or maybe someone that lives in this area.
Yeah.
But if there's more than one way to get to the dentist office, then you should probably go to the way that's not closed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't know.
What kind of vehicle was it?
Oh, like a little Ford Escape, like a little Mammal Cruiser. You know what I mean? I don't know, but it's just been a wild week with drivers.
When they were pouring. So I think Culver's was open in Jasper.
Yeah.
But they were still pouring concrete on like the transition from the parking lot to the roadway.
The aprons, yeah. Okay.
There you go, the apron.
Yeah.
And there was like a Oldsmobile
hung up in the concrete?
Maybe like in the wet concrete.
Yes.
Just like they went.
Okay.
Okay.
So
but it wasn't an old person. You could tell it was just, I don't know if she was drunk.
So there where we're at on this section of street where we're at, there's a church with 2 driveways, and then there's a dentist office with 1 driveway. The church we had which was like I think that was like a 12-yard pour just in 1 driveway.
That's pretty good size.
So it's a pretty wide driveway, one big shot.
In And a concrete truck's only like 4 yards?
Nine.
Nine.
Yeah, 9.5.
I think they could do a max of 10, but they don't max.
They only haul 9.5. So anyway, we get this driveway all done, and then like the road is closed, but like for local traffic, they can still come in and go to their houses and things like that, right?
Yeah.
Well, the dentist is highly, that we could not close the dentist completely off, so we had to pour his driveway in halves. We poured the first one,
yeah,
and then rocked the other one back, and then let that cure out for 7 days, and then we swapped it over to the new, and then poured the other half. But anyway, we had just got done screeting the concrete off on the driveway, getting ready to start floating it, and one of the guys is down on the edge, like he's edging, getting your rough edge in, and here comes Papaw wanting to go to the dentist, and he's getting ready to turn into the church, into the wet, but because we hadn't put our cones back up, you know what I mean? So he's getting ready to just hang a right, just right in that shit, and we're like, no, screaming. People are running, throwing cones and shit. And finally he goes, hot damn, I thought I was going in the dentist. And we're like, no, you about got stuck in 6 inches of wet concrete here, pal.
Oh,
but
man.
I don't know. We like some of them wave at you. You know what I mean? Like we always give them the, you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? The road's closed. What are you doing? And they're all like, yeah,
I think you know my grandson.
yeah, like
I think you know him.
or it's just one of those things where like a lot of times the language barrier too for some of the
old people.
Well, no, not the old people, but like the Hispanic drivers in town are.
Because there's a strong likelihood they may not have a driver's license.
Not a clue. And then like, we got to luckily we have our interpreter now that can like tell them what we need. Like if we need to move their cars off the street or something, like knock on their door and they're like, hey, we need to move your car. And they're like, yes, yes. You know what I mean? Like no clue. You come back to the truck. Hey, they going to move it? No idea. No clue. Couldn't tell you, man. I mean, no idea.
Nice folks, though.
Yeah, good folks.
We had an instance. We were playing golf at McDonald's in Evansville, the little course there off
at McDonald's,
Morgan Avenue.
Yeah, it's a McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Course, yeah.
It's
what it's called. There's not like a restaurant of McDonald's. There's not a burger joint at the golf course.
It's just McDonald's
right across there
kind
from
of the local course.
Raven Tire, right there on the
it's
left.
It's on Morgan Avenue.
Past Bud's down the way, just to go.
Is that Morgan or Green? Yeah,
that's
it's Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
So on Morgan Avenue, and there's a fairway, and I'm trying to think because you kind of teed off, and then there was 2 and 3, and maybe this was 4 or 3. But we were in college, and we'd go there and play. It was cheap. It was cheap to play. And we were standing there getting ready to tee off. And one of my buddies goes, don't swing, don't swing, don't swing. And I was like, what are you talking? And I look up, and there's an old lady coming down the fairway.
In her car.
And her Cutlass Classic. And we're standing there at the tee box dumbfounded. And the lady rolls her window down. Still had the automatic crank, like you see her
to the pharmacy.
No, that's it. She goes. What? Did I miss the turn for Van Avenue?
Oh boy!
And we look at each other. We're like, it's back that way. And she was like, how do I get out of here? And we're like, the parking lot's right behind us.
Yeah.
And that lady rolls up her window.
Just keeps on trucking.
Just doesn't miss a beat. I mean, she drove down the middle
In my
of the
head,
fairway.
as soon as the window goes up, she pushes play on like some Van Halen or something.
Rips it out.
My mom would probably she'll get a kick out of this, but so Grandpa Marvin, my mom's dad, he put the ice machine through the through the wall of the building at More for Less one time with the old Crown Vic. And then Wild Bill, that was so. Here is the gloom and doom of this topic, right? It was a sad, sad day when Wild Bill got his wings clipped.
Yeah.
When my old man finally had to break down and tell Grandpa, like, "Hey, you're done."
Yeah.
And we took the keys, and then the son of a bitch found a spare. You know what I mean? Or called over to Ruxer's. I need a key to a 95 F-150 now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then finally, we had to take the truck to my house.
Yeah, it sat down there for a while.
Yeah, we had to get it out of there,
But
you know, but
I
it
feel
was
like
time. It was time. He was gonna
but
inadvertently hurt somebody.
what the advancements in technology? That's
Yeah, I'm not
even
putting
true.
my blind grandpa on a Tesla.
No. Fortunately, since we're rural folk,
Yes.
like if you get to where you got to take Papa Mace's keys someday,
Oh, good grief.
you can take the truck and park a golf cart there.
Yeah,
or a side by.
yeah.
Like you can still get around town,
So
old man.
that's-
You just can't go 95 miles.
So
an hour.
that's what another. It would have been my dad's uncle before he passed away. Like he went like just bat blind, like he was blind as shit. Real close talker, closer talker than Wild Bill was.
Oh,
And he had to, yeah, he got no cars for him no more. It was just a side by side, you know. So I don't know. It's a tough call, but I think I think there should be some time that it shouldn't. You shouldn't have to put the burden on your family member. It should just be like a blanket deal. Like, yep, you failed. You know.
I'm surprised that HPD or local sheriff's department doesn't help you guys out a little bit.
They do a lot. Like we call them a lot. Like when we have several issues where like people just don't give a shit what we're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we have, yes, 100%. They have helped us numerous times.
Yeah.
With traffic control and people neglecting signs and everything like that. So
Yeah, that's
I got thinking about it the other day. I was talking about you actually to somebody at work that was considering getting motorcycle licensed up, you know.
yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, had a buddy do it recently, did the thing with A-Bait. And so question one, is that required?
no.
Okay. I knew it wasn't when I got mine. Like you could just go do it. And I said, I think doing it again, I would do that.
Hands down, I would have.
But so even now, I've had my motorcycle license since 2008, maybe. So I took that test way back then, in 8 or 9, I guess, to kind of depend on what time of year it was. And like I imagine you're much sharper on it than I am now, because I was drinking real heavy back then.
Real heavy.
And then after that, there was a moment in time where I was drinking heavier than that. So I'm sure I forgot all the important stuff. But I was back to my point. It's like, man, yeah, that's why I didn't get rid of my endorsement, because I didn't want to have to take the test again. As long as I keep it on there, I was thinking when you were talking, I could be 92 and still have my motorcycle endorsement, not even be able to stand up.
That's what I'm saying.
So
It's the same. It's the same deal here.
Yeah.
100%. Just like your CDL. Like I could be 105. Well, there's no way I'll make it that far.
Yes, you will, buddy.
But like, I mean, you could be older
this
than
podcast money. We are going to buy the blood from the youth from that island.
Good God. We could be this
Catch guys in.
Yeah, he's all in. He's already got it probably. But like you could be older than dirt and then like somebody, hey, you still got your CDL? My boy needs a feller to haul a load of corn out there.
Yeah.
Hell, I'll drive that son of a bitch. You know what I mean? And then just
Can't get into the cab.
no, like yeah.
Well,
I don't
and
know.
that's what, and I'll say
Now let me rephrase that. I recant that. CDLs are a lot different because you have to go to
Health check.
Yeah, and I go every year because of
your CPAP.
sleep apnea.
Yeah.
I remember being probably 10 at the farm, and Dad was busy working on tractors or something, and Great Grandpa Clifford rolled up. Maybe I was 8.
Clifford.
And,
Come here.
No, so
Come here.
and
I got a quarter for you. Don't spend this in one spot. You remember that one?
now, but honest to God,
Put
a quarter.
that corn poison right here. Here. Now don't give.
That's exactly how it
give that
was.
to anybody. Your
But
sister.
down at the Abington General Store, a quarter'd get you Laffy Taffy, Tootsie Rolls,
Shit,
and
yeah.
a soda
The
pop.
Abington General Store.
But at any rate, Dad had promised me he was going to take me home back to my mom's that Sunday in the dump truck, like in the grain truck.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to do. And he got busy, and he's like, hey, Grandpa, why don't you take the kids back there to their moms? And, huh? He's like, yeah, well, I told him I'd take the grain truck, though. And he's like, yeah. I remember him hopping up in there and back up. Oh, got to try again to get in the door. And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Mike, dude. So
I don't even know if he get the clutch in hardly.
we
all
could
the
talk
way.
like this for hours. But one more before we go on. But Wild Bill. So Huntingburg Volunteer Fire Department for like 47
Hell
years.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
one your day, like back in, you know,
They served together back in the day.
when your dad was on there, and you know, Kit Carson and like the Kisslings, and like these guys have been on
these old time
Pat
characters.
Bergs. I mean, they've been on the fire department since the fire department's been the fire department. You know what I mean? And Wild Bill, I think it was my buddy Jason Beatles was, you know, he was a young strapping fireman, you know, and getting in the, you know, getting on all this stuff. Well, they had Grandpa's truck that he always run was 733. It was an old, you know, I don't even know. It was a Mac, I believe, just a stub nose Mac fire
cab
truck.
over unit.
Yeah, cab over unit, you know, with a big old regular straight standard shift in that baby. And there wasn't only a few of them that could drive it. You know what I mean? And Grandpa Beatles was, but Grandpa he could pump a truck. Like he was a pump guy. He was always the one that was running the truck, you know, for the water and shit. Anyway, Beatles jumps in there and he says, "Bill, you want me to drive?" He said, "Hell no, I'm going, get in. Let's go." You know, and he said, "I didn't make it." He goes, "Never again in my life will I ever ride in a fire truck with your grandfather." And I said, "Oh, no shit." He said, "I was white knuckled before we even got out of the damn garage." You know what I mean? But I mean, he just you know, just cramming gears and getting after it, you know. And then from then on out, you know, Grandpa just lived on Jackson. Beatles is right there on Van Buren. So, you know, and of course, Grandpa's doing 250 mile an hour down Washington Street to get to the fire department.
Yeah.
And hell, Beatles would just be getting into the station. They hit the same time, and you know, they'd be going for the same truck, and Grandpa said, "Get in, Jason." He said, "You get in, old bastard." You know what I mean? And so I don't know, man. Everybody's got stories about Mama and Papa or Grandpa driving.
God, I could tell them all day.
I know, but it's just
They
Probably not great.
It's a scary deal.
Content.
It's a scary deal.
I think the BMV though requires if you get over a certain age, you have to do an eye exam every year.
No, 100%.
And then the thing that always like bothered my dad when it come to the CDL stuff, these sons of bitches that drive Ford Focuses every day and then they go buy the 53-foot motorhome, pulling a Jeep, pulling a boat,
and they don't have to have
pulling
CDL.
another camper and don't have anything.
Yeah.
Always, he never understood it.
That is right.
What
you got?
Well, it's going to be kind of a change, not to be a Debbie Downer, but it came through my email. I subscribed to the Indiana State Police.
Oh, yeah.
And so a cold case from 1994
I love a good cold case.
was solved this week.
No shit.
And here's how it was solved.
Semen.
Yes.
It's always semen.
Nailed it.
So here was the situation. So my main wonder was about how DNA has changed the discovery of being able to test for DNA, improve the reliability of DNA testing, and what they have done with DNA to like in this short amount of time. So case of this situation was this guy basically kidnapped a woman in Owensboro, Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
Threatened her or whatever. They come across the border into Spencer County.
Mm-hmm.
There was obviously unconsensual relations. Unconsensual. Yes, I didn't want to throw the hard R out there.
Yeah.
He goes back. He forces her to drive back with them back over into Owensboro. And then it just goes cold.
No murder?
No.
Okay.
No. Just the unconsensual act. This individual's gone. No details of anything, no other identifying stuff. But luckily, law enforcement then, probably in the early days of this, did probably a SANE exam, which is a sexual assault nurse evaluation. I think that's right. Going back in time there a little bit from my criminal defense days, but I think that's what it is. Yeah, it's something like that. They collected DNA. So fast forward, I think it was the Spencer County Prosecutor's Office or Spencer County Sheriff's Department or somebody is going through these cold cases and saying, "Hey, will you guys test this DNA?"
Oh, the database there. Yeah.
Well, they'll just run it through CODIS, and
still had the old shot in a
Probably wherever they stored it. Probably Indiana State Police had it stored or whatever.
Evidence. That's what I was looking for. The evidence.
The old evidence
box.
locker.
Yeah, locker.
So they send it off and it hits.
Oh.
And it also hits on a similar situation in 1996 that occurred where it was taken. Turns out this feller in Hickory, North Carolina is the perpetrator.
Robert. Oh, you going to say it?
Oh, you can go ahead. He's already admitted to it because he got 30 years.
Oh, God. So he's sentenced and done deal.
I thought he was.
No, it did. You're right. It does say that. Robert Daniel Shelton was sentenced to 30 years in Indiana Department of Corrections after pleading guilty. Oh, he pled guilty.
Yeah, well, I mean, the DNA evidence is hard to...
You're dead to
You
right.
finally caught me. Yeah, finally caught me.
Your spunk don't lie, boys. I tell you that right now.
It turns out, like, just this off chance of clearing through these cold cases.
That's nutty, man.
And then they say, like, the DNA comes...
Nutty.
Literally.
Yeah. It comes back, and it's, this guy sitting in his living room, and I guess they contacted him, like, went and talked to him, and they got a confirmatory DNA sample, so obviously they had enough for a warrant. I would assume to get the DNA.
Turns out he must have been
1994, 30 years ago.
He was basically a serial unconsensualer.
Yeah,
because he's got multiples there. Because he, oh boy, not a very good looking fella.
How old is he?
Doesn't.
I mean, he's got to be probably in his 50s or
60.
60s.
Oh, I don't. Well, he looks 60-ish.
Oh, that's a rough one there.
Oh, boy, he looks lost.
Got the wild eyes there. But
isn't that nuts, man? Just some old boy, just probably living a regular ass normal life. Come to
I
find
bet
out,
the neighbor kids would come over, you get a little thing, give them a quarter.
yeah, man.
But it just, so the DNA thing, so it was just amazing me to think about, like, how far we've come, because there was another situation in these cold cases where they got the guy that was the serial killer in like the 60s or 70s through the family genealogical DNA.
That's why you should always have to check with your close relatives before you're allowed to do a 23andMe.
Yeah. I mean, because
What do you mean, like check with them?
So my sister, she went and got one done, and I was a little bit up. God dang, you could have warned him, mother.
Oh, yeah, because you could have been like an accessory to murder or something like that.
back in the day.
Somebody could have put my DNA somewhere, and I didn't know.
Yeah.
Good to know to be prepared to watch for the people in the front yard.
Yeah.
But
True.
that's what.
That's
so
how
I don't
found
know.
out
'cause
I'm
there's
not
just-
actually an Indian.
Because you're unreal. God damn, you wear the turquoise good, though. But like that, I mean, once you do that, though, right? Like once you do 23andMe or any of these.
You're in it.
Yeah. Like
You're in it.
I'd say the
like, that's
FBI probably kicked that off.
That's a thing. And
sole
like that,
intent
there's
and purpose
there's
to
like
get
a hidden
through all
clause in there. Like if you must click this box to proceed, and then like it says in like super fine print, like your DNA
Consenting
will
to
be.
agree to it.
Yeah,
I've never
forever in here.
I've never looked into it.
What'd you say? He's couch guy saying that Amazon sold it. What Amazon sold? What?
The DNA information.
Oh, I see. And then they sold it to China, and then the FBI bought it. Oh boy.
Oh, here we go. Because that's how they caught that guy.
Now, next episode, you'll see David and Couch Guy talking about all the sketchy shit they did to get their information off the internet.
We'll have to dim the lights for that.
I saw my social security on the WikiLeaks. Oh boy! Shut up, Couch Guy.
Yeah.
You're done.
But because like this guy was a 50% genealogical match, and they were like, "Oh yeah, that's Uncle Steve." A little bit off. Turns out,
Somebody's got a crazy eye.
He's a murderer.
Yeah, turns out it was. So I don't know. I saw that and I just thought, like, we don't think about it today because now you get popped for a level 6 felony and you get a conviction, they take your DNA.
Yeah.
And so you'll never have this situation ever again.
Well, Uncle Todd and Jessica, like with the Jessica Knoll with the investigators, they got down on that a lot of cold case files. I'm all in on cold cases, man. There are a lot of them out there, especially in like missing persons cases and shit like that.
Yeah.
Especially like up in Alaska and like Dave was saying, native territories and all that stuff, man. That's some wild, wild stuff.
Do you believe anyways that how many individuals that sit at home that are in that age range of old boy there, late 50s,
Oh, just
60s,
shaking in their boots.
just worried.
Yeah. You see it all the time. You see it all the time. Like these stories will pop up like, local resident is convicted for a multi-state murder string, back in 1963, and the guy's like, he rolls up into court and he's in a wheelchair with an oxygen tank. You never know,
and
man.
the taxpayers just get slumped to pay for that until he kicks over. Do you think, like, it seems like in that 60s and 70s and 80s, you had
The decades or the age now?
the decades.
Oh, that's a wild time to be alive, man.
Well, but like the level of like a guy that would off like 3 or 4 people, by definition, are serial killers. Like,
well, now correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't serial killers, don't they have to have like something signature about
Modus operandi.
Yeah, like they have to have an MO or not. No, I'll just Google it.
There's got to be
there's so
a
many
signature, like a signature mark,
or at least a what do you call it? A pattern.
Well, it's so many.
A person who
pattern.
commits a series of murders, often with no apparent motive and typically following a characteristic, predictable behavior pattern. So like basically, well, no, so that there shouldn't be, it can be completely random and not always with
but a series of murders, one big murder is not a series. That's one event.
No, you're right.
So that's not a serial killer. That's a mass
murderer.
Okay.
Yeah. No, like a serial killer would be like
the what do they call them? The interstate.
Well, that
yeah.
BTK, the Night Stalker, Richard
So it's
Ramirez.
either how you do it,
John Wayne
or
Gacy,
your victim.
John.
Yeah, like they're always blonde cheerleaders with size 7
No,
shoes.
that's not true.
What?
I mean, not all of them.
I mean, I'm sure there's somebody.
Jeffrey Dahmer liked gay boys, like younger adolescent males.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That was his
Yeah.
That's what made him a serial killer, though.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't killing the overweight heterosexual down the hallway.
Oh God.
But there could
Thank
be a
God,
guy killing
we'll
just
be
grief. Pound for pound, I killed more people than any of them.
Old Dahmer could eat well for quite some time. Could you imagine you're at the old state penitentiary and the CO comes by and is like, getting a new bunkie. Oh yeah, who is it? Flips up the paper. Some Dahmer guy.
Oh my God.
You head to the chow hall like, hey, you know who this Dahmer guy? Oh, you got Dahmer? He's that guy that he
ate people. Oh shit.
It's probably about that time.
You wake up with teeth marks on Dave's bitch shin.
Extra crispy.
Yeah.
Unreal, man. No, I bet with all that. Yeah, I mean, DNA has absolutely revolutionized.
And the technology, because everybody's got one of these.
Oh yeah.
Are the Ring doorbells? How many crimes do you think are solved because of Ring doorbell footage?
Motion detected in the side yard.
I wonder how long Ring keeps that. So I pay a subscription so I can have the data saved. It's a yearly thing. It's a yearly thing. Sorry, I realized I looked away. But I'm sure Ring is keeping all my information against my wishes, whether I pay for that or not, for a certain amount of time, just for such things there.
You reckon?
Oh, absolutely. I imagine they save all the data, and it's probably on just a never-ending loop. So like first in, first out. So after a certain amount of space, the oldest one just falls off. And when you pay that subscription, you're not paying for them to save it. You're just paying to get access to what they're already saving.
Anyways. Yeah, I don't know. We use Blink. I think we have the Amazon variety.
That was
Ring is the Amazon variety.
Oh, never mind.
I think Blink is Google.
yeah. There's another feller that I work with that has Blink.
Because when I'm watching anything on Amazon TV, oh wow. So when I'm watching Amazon
Is it
TV,
live?
if
That's not
somebody,
live. That's it's daylight in that.
Well, it's just
Well,
not
but
a-
I can get
That's cool. How much does that stuff cost?
I think we pay $100 a year
Oh no shit. That's
Yeah.
it.
for that's the live off the doorbell.
Oh cool.
Yeah, we got the doorbell, we got the shop light. They'd always get
Dave,
me
you
in
don't want to
trouble
tell
for
everybody where you got these cameras.
I got them at Amazon.
No. Okay, all right. Where they're located.
I got them on Amazon.
Yeah, got them on Amazon.
Oh, so you just pick and choose here, huh? Like Blink, you can buy all kinds of different shit.
I think Nest is Google.
Yeah,
That's right. Nest is. Oh,
See,
look at
'cause
here. So the 4th gen wire-free smart security. How do they get power?
Well,
Ours are battery powered.
ours are
Oh.
2/3 of ours are hardwired.
2/3.
And a third of them are.
How many freaking cameras do you got here, NASA man?
Dave's got
Worry about it.
Don't you worry about it.
Dave's got a control room that he can just sit down in.
God bless. Welcome to
Wyatt
the war.
told me, he's like, my buddy said they almost TP'd our house when they were doing that all the other day around here. I was like, I wish they would have. I was like, one, because I think that's great that kids are still doing that. And two, I'd have loved calling their parents because I knew the kids and saying,
Oh,
hey,
yeah, they got Hentrips real good and
I said, you
proper.
better
I've
get
seen
them
that.
boys over here to clean all this toilet paper. I said, we just sat in the driveway and watched them pick toilet paper out of that willow tree.
Let me paint this picture here, Picasso.
We don't want to
It's-
talk about getting caught TPing,
It's late at
especially
night.
with the couch guy being around.
It's late at night, and Smoke might happen to still be in the lounge. He starts to kind of be drifting off to go to sleep. About sometime, some high school TP guys decide that they're gonna make a little
good
ruckus
grief.
up on the hill.
I probably better not keep so many loaded firearms.
And
Oh,
and all of
no.
a sudden, them poor teenagers hear chopper music come on. And Dave
out my undies with night vision
Dave kicks open the door to the lounge, and it's on. Oh shit!
Night
That'd be
vision
good.
goggles, tidy whities, and a daggone grenade launch.
Oh, good God.
Hey, before we move on, let's take a quick pause for the cause.
Hey, Wonders. You've heard Mace talking about it for a few weeks now, but we wanted to be sure you got it. Talking about Courage for Courtney. Our friend Courtney Drew has been diagnosed with cancer and needs our support. To help ease the financial burden of treatment and everything else, some awesome folks are hosting a fundraiser on July 13th from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Venue 1408 in Huntingburg. It'll be an awesome evening with live music, dinner, dancing, a silent auction, and a bake sale. It's going to be a fun night for everybody involved, but most importantly, it'll be helping a great family get through a really tough time. Can't make it? Well, don't forget there's an online store. Look below for the link or scan the QR code that you see on your screen right now. Now, these are pre-orders, so you can order at any time, but the orders will be sent off to production in batches. You'll be given information on your batch and pickup options when you order. Let's rally together and show the power of community.
All righty. Hey, Dave, before you go, we still got one more sponsor because they want to talk to our friends, the Wanderers.
Okay.
A real conversation, probably recently had. Can you believe Susie is graduating this month? Well, no, I sure can't. But I can believe that I'm calling Catering by Meyer to handle the menu for her graduation party. Don't be that graduation party that everyone talks about, and not in a good way. They're booking up now and filling quick. Don't let Susie down. Plan the menu with the help of the experts at Catering by Meyer.
All right, Smoke Dragon. What is yours, my friend?
Well, you know, I'm becoming pretty aware of my disdain for their federal government and their overreach, and I'm sure everybody's getting tired of hearing it, but I got to talk about it some more.
Okay.
Okay.
Preach to us.
So I pull up the Google News every morning, and then also every day after lunch, just to see what's happened in the 4 hours while I was doing other things.
Right.
And I come across to where the federal, somehow it's made it to the federal level, and I don't know, maybe by now when you hear this it's decided, but they were deciding on how or if to make it illegal for homeless folks to sleep outside. And I just can't wrap my head around where in the hell are you going to take them?
Yeah, where
Like
they're
if
supposed
they're
to sleep.
homeless, like
Isn't that
without a home. Now I can understand maybe there's some places that people shouldn't be sleeping. If I'm a private property owner, you know, maybe I don't want a homeless encampment on my private property. Okay, that's absolutely enforceable. If we're on an interstate,
Yeah,
you can't have folks just sleeping on the shoulder because it's a safety concern, not
Yeah.
only for them, but the folks. I'm pretty sure you hit a sleeping bum and it's going to do some damage.
to your car.
Yeah, like
Yes.
the bum may not be the only one to die.
Yeah.
And, but at any rate,
Depends, I think, maybe what you're driving.
Good
I don't
grief.
know.
If you got enough
Anymore-
ground clearance, you might just go.
The problem is with
Yeah.
ground clearance is the more ground clearance you have, the weaker the pivot points are in the vehicle because you got them in a tighter angle. I mean, you hit a big bum in a lifted truck and the front wheel falls off.
How many fat homeless guys do you know?
Well, I think in this day and age, we're going to start seeing more and more. So
Yeah.
here's my theory,
All right.
because it would seem real easy to say, okay, it is illegal to sleep on a roadway or within the easement of the roadway, which is normally 15 or 50 feet off center or whatever. And that'd be a pretty easy thing to do. So I think, why would we want to just outlaw sleeping outside? Because that's just camping. But the only reason that you'd want to outlaw sleeping outside is if you're hoping to overpopulate your jails. And why would you want to overpopulate your jails? Well, you want to do that because then you can put more taxes on the folks that are working and make them think that they want it because, hey, we got this problem. There's an epidemic. You got the crackheads down the road. Like that goofy old fart from Texas. God dang. You don't like cops?
George
Next
Bush.
time you're in trouble, call a crackhead. Or maybe it's Kentucky.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Kentucky.
But that old
Texas, Kentucky.
that old fogey. But
Lindsey
so
Graham.
I think what they're wanting to do is scare folks that are paying taxes into paying more taxes, because I don't think that the government is in it to win it for the folks. Because there's many more better ways to solve this issue than saying we're going to arrest a homeless person for sleeping outside or giving them parking tickets. And the fact of the matter is you got so many daggum benefits for folks. I think it'd be easy to be homeless and get fat because you're getting a certain amount of money, and that money's supposed to be able to get you through like housing and at least be able to live. When now housing's so inflated, all you can do is get drunk and eat cheeseburgers. Which sounds like a great time other than the no roof situation.
Yeah.
But I just can't believe that would get to federal court. The tax money going into the proceedings of that are just, I imagine, insane.
Well, you know,
It's Senator John Kennedy from
Kennedy, that's what.
yeah, from Louisiana.
You don't like cops? Call a crackhead. That guy.
That guy probably ought to be tested to drive.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
old fogey.
Yeah.
He's an interesting character.
Oh God,
He's a character
he's
for
a
sure.
wildcat.
You know, I think, Dave, to your problem on taxes, I mean, the bigger picture is our elected officials just spent $95 billion.
Yeah.
But they banning TikTok within a year.
That's
Only
real
if
important.
they don't sell. What is it? Only if they don't sell to a non-Chinese. What is it? What's the stipulations?
Well, they probably don't want it going to the commies.
If they divest any interest they have in the CCP, Chinese Communist Party. I don't know. I mean,
So long, TikTok.
Dave,
I used to be one that thought, like, I vote, but I honestly don't think my vote matters as one person, just the way it all works. Like, it can't stack up. So for the longest time, I wouldn't vote Libertarian because I felt like it was just a waste.
Totally just a waste. Yeah.
But that is the mindset that makes it to where we get in this crazy shit show spiral of $96 billion for TikTok. And you know what we should do? Let's start a war on hobos.
Yeah.
Like, what the?
What about making remember the TikTok I sent you guys about maybe Couch Guys started it. I'm not who started it, but the TikTok where they allocated funds for a railway on the moon.
Oh, yeah. You got to have the old space train.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
space trains. Like, what are we doing? You
Well,
know what I mean? Like,
and
what are we doing?
And the other, I think it was California, maybe it was Los Angeles, $13 billion to tackle homelessness, and it didn't get any better. It just got worse. And you know what it is? It's the non-for-profits, and it goes to the people that are running these non-for-profits that are the
Making
CEOs.
heller salaries
And then-
being good
And they're making,
Samaritans.
it's exactly right.
Heller salaries being good Samaritans.
And then guess who donates to those?
The lobbyists.
Suckers like
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. I think it would be interesting. I think
Now, I don't think you should be able to sleep on the street.
I'm not saying I'm
Okay.
like, hey, let's have just rampant homeless camps, but just to say, let's make it illegal so we can arrest them. what the hell is that going to solve? Because
Well,
it seems to me they're looking for a good
lot of
place to
it-
sleep anyway.
Well,
A
here's
lot
the
of
pro-
it's already illegal anyways. 'cause
You're
it's
right.
Trespassing.
They're transients, or there's loitering.
Yeah.
There's loitering
Yeah.
clauses. There's all these things. But like,
Stuff's been on the books for a while.
here's my question. There's not enough homeless shelters in the world to accommodate the amount of homeless people there are in the world. So if they make it illegal for, like you said, where are they going to go? Like what
That's
are they,
it's not going to solve anything. You're
No.
going to have more expenses on the government, the local government, because now they got to house these people.
Mhm.
You've got paid employees now
Yeah,
that
that's
have
what I
a
was going to say.
job
You got to
of,
have people that
we
are.
got to go out and beat the street. Got to go round up some bums. Got to meet the quota.
Now, do you remember bum fights?
Yeah, we've
Yes.
talked about bum fights
With
a couple
Rufus.
times. Yeah,
Rufus.
Yeah. It seems to me to
Fighting
be
over
like
rocks
there's.
of crack cocaine.
Oh, it's terrible.
I just don't know how that solves anything to make it illegal to sleep. And it's in Oregon. Like how many? This all started in Oregon. How many
Seattle.
homeless camps are there? Well, that's Washington.
That's Washington. It's not Oregon.
Yeah.
What dumb fuck?
Portland.
Portland. That's
There
what
you
I
go.
meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, Portland.
Well, but if you look at those places and you look at those areas,
Portland is. God, I couldn't imagine living in Portland.
I got
It's
kin in
wild.
Portland.
I know you do, but I'm just
Yeah,
saying, like, poor them. I just think that is a
Well,
wild place.
Just all the money they've spent to make it illegal to spend more money. It seems like you may have been able to get the
But-
right people in a room and come up with an actual
but,
solution.
but you're missing the point. There's the other half of the equation that's getting fat rich.
That's what I'm driving at.
Your disdain is at the government, which is rightly so. But there's also the other side of those non-government organizations, these not-for-profits that take all this money. It's just like when Portland, I think it was Portland, I don't know if it was statewide. Your kinfolk up there in that area might correct otherwise, but where they basically legalized everything, every drug imaginable
Yeah.
into small amounts. And the whole idea was, well, we are going to want you to go
Okay, wait a minute. Did they legalize it or decriminalize it?
decriminalize
Yeah.
it
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
to certain levels of what you can have.
And then you
Yeah.
could go get your needle kit at the nurse.
Yeah.
And she'd check
But
you out.
the thing
and
of it
give you
is
your
all
bump
these
kit.
tax dollars goes to these NGOs.
Mhm.
And if there's one thing I've learned about
What's
addiction,
an NGO?
non-government organization,
Gotcha.
but they're basically an arm of the government, or they rely on tax dollars. So these NGOs and these other non-for-profits, they boost these candidates, they pay money to these candidates, and then when these candidates get into office, they do these policies where they say, hey, we're going to decriminalize heroin because mom and pop's rehab center down there, you can go down there, you can get help, and you can get what you need. If there's anything I've learned in my past life of representing people that have addiction issues, it's not going to help.
No.
It's not going to help until you want to help your addiction, until you get that point. You can have somebody that sits in a local county facility enough time to get off the high and the low of methamphetamine. But you know the first thing they're doing when they get out, they're going to go back to use it. And so that's what happens. You're mad at the government, but it's the fact that it's this cyclical
Yep.
relationship, this parasitic,
Symbiotic.
well, yeah, of this relationship where
One's
these-
feeding off the other, and they just
yeah,
get
and they
bigger.
keep doing it. And I think it's going to take a guy like Elon Musk, who, whichever side of the aisle you're on, Elon, I think, is legitimately trying to make Twitter, or X, formerly known as Twitter. I don't know how you say it anymore.
Yeah, it's a symbol.
Is trying to make X a place where there's an exchange of ideas and information and a freedom of that. And I think that there's going to have to take a guy like that sits there and says, listen, you on the left, you guys are just as dumb as the people on the right. You on the right, you're just as dumb as people on the left. The only smart ones are the centrists, but the centrists can't seem to get their shit together to where they can start moving their muscle and weight around to where you can fix it. But you got to start reining in the government, the money you spend in these governments, and where this money goes out. Because how many times do you hear freaking news articles about lost, like, hey, we lost $2 billion. How do you lose $2 billion? How do you lose, how does that happen?
Yeah, it's wild, man.
So, I don't know.
Anyway, that's been my bitch. I mean, that among many other things with based around the same thing.
Well, and it doesn't help like when we get our local property tax statements.
Did your
Yeah.
mine went down?
Ours
did not.
Janelle said ours was about the same as what it
Yeah,
was
like
last
I
year.
think ours went down $75-$80, but I thought for sure we were going to get our eyes effed out because of that.
Well, you got your eyes effed out last year, probably.
Well, but how long will it take to catch up since the property transfer as of late? You would thought that would have been tacked onto this year.
Well, when did it sell?
Well, I don't know, last fall.
So, no, it'll be next year in the spring and fall that it'll affect.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
that's
you're
about there.
paying 2024, paying 2023 now. So
Yeah. So,
anyway,
I don't
that's
know.
what I've got. Had.
What a wild deal.
Yeah.
let's see here.
Time for
The Merkley and Sons Choice Questions of the Week for the fellas, brought to you by Merkley and Sons.
Welcome to the Merkley and Sons Choice Cut Question of the Week for the Fellas, sponsored by Merkley and Sons, the ultimate destination for meat enthusiasts. The Merkley and Sons ad has been heating up. Just at the end of April, they had smoked wieners, seasoned patties, fresh pork tenderloin, and the flavored brats on sale. Stop in there, see the fellas, and tell them the Dutchman sent you.
All right. Anyways, some anonymous questions tonight in regards to food.
oh boy.
I like
Well,
food.
I was hungry when I was digging for questions. Name the best food to eat on a first date.
Hot wings. Not.
Hey, no, hot wings could because you love it.
I'll probably just have a salad.
My last first date would have been in college, so it was probably Fazoli's.
Nice. I was going to say
Something cheap like
spaghetti.
That's Olive Garden.
Hey, baby, let's go get
I think
a six-pack.
I think it would have to be pizza.
Oh boy, classy.
I think pizza would be a good.
Yeah, great. I'm sure they'd love it.
It's better than hot wings.
No, yeah, I mean, duh. Yeah. I mean, I was trying to be sarcastic with the hot wings. I mean, I probably wouldn't try that.
Well,
but-
what would be your first date food?
First date? I mean, probably a steak. You know what I mean? Probably something classy. Set the tone. I don't know.
Good grief, that is not the gear I was in college.
No, I mean, I didn't go to college.
Hey, he had that coal mine money. He had that
right.
coal mine money. Mr. Peabody. It's midnight. What are you grabbing for a snack?
Ooh-wee. Just like straight out of the fridge?
Whatever. It's midnight. and
Probably like ham, like a slice of ham, or like in some cheese, and then like roll it up like a snacky or snack roll, little ham and cheese roll there. Maybe I don't
What you got, buddy?
You get that paper plate
know. I
out.
knew it. Here we go.
You put two tortillas on there, backed up to one another. Then you fill them
Peanut
SOBs
butter.
full of cheese.
Oh, okay.
And then you nuke them for 30 seconds. And when they come out, you dollop some sour cream on there and then some Cholula.
So for a midnight snack, you will make that kind of racket.
Yeah.
Quesadillas.
Yeah. Little cheese roll-ups.
I think it depends on what I'm craving. Because a lot of times, like we got Easter candy out on the counter right now,
Oh.
and I'll pop out and grab one a Reese's egg or.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's,
those babies need to be in the freezer. That's
yeah.
where they need to go.
It's not a good thing. What is the first thing you drink when you wake up in the morning?
water.
Water.
Yeah, water would
My
be
own
it.
piss. Because it's sterile and I like the taste.
What's an uncommon food combination that you enjoy? For instance, pickles on a peanut butter sandwich.
Oh God. I don't really have any quirky ones. I used to eat mustard with like corn. That's kind of
A
wild.
lot of yellow.
Yeah.
Probably, I think it's common, but maybe split. Ketchup on scrambled eggs, maybe.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna do like hard pretzels with mustard.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Well, but some. What would you pack for a picnic?
I'm not going on a picnic.
Not at all. Your girls come up to you and say, "Dad, I want to go on a picnic." You're gonna say,
Uncrustables and some fruit cups.
"Oh boy."
Mm-hmm.
So we don't necessarily pack for picnics, but we'll do some hiking, and we're Uncrustables and cheese stick folks.
Yeah.
We're big on a big cheese stick thing right now. Two more here. What is your go-to dish to bring for a potluck?
Oh, buffalo chicken dip. That's been my staple for years.
That's one of ours, or like cocktail wieners.
Barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
Grape jelly. The whole
Yep,
works.
that's it. With little micro weenies.
Little micro peens. Got them.
We do the beefy nacho dip.
Ooh.
Janelle's a big beefy nacho dip girl. Now, she'll eat it with celery.
Oh, that's a wild deal there.
She'll eat
The
it
old
with celery.
Velveeta and hamburger, baby. Hell yeah, that goes
she'll
way
eat
back.
it. Are you known for any of your meals? Like, for instance, Smoke's bringing his favorite chicken.
So my buffalo chicken dip's kind of well known, but even though it was outmatched this year at Shirley's Super Bowl party because some bougie ass bastard showed up with chicken dip with rotisserie chicken in it. Like, who does that?
Jenna does that.
What a wild idiot. I don't know. So that, and then like I make a really badass $1 million spaghetti that my kids go ape shit nuts over. We had it down in
Yeah, it was good.
down
It was
at
real
the
good.
swamp there that one year.
Sorry, Smoke.
But I don't know. No, that's it really.
Um,
Come on.
I think the main thing that I got is we've been known to have a soiree a few here, and then folks stay so they don't have to travel.
Oh yeah.
And I'm a big fan of whipping up some B's and G's,
Yeah,
some biscuits and gravy in the morning, and that's probably what I'm most.
What about the Highlander meatloaf?
Well, there's been very few that've had it, so I can't say that. Like the
like
families
a
had
true
it.
Highlander fashion, there can only be one.
I got
Yeah,
it.
that's so. I love my meatloaf.
Obviously.
I've not
Yeah.
shared it.
What you got?
I don't know that I'm famous for any one meal, but I can do a pretty good breakfast. Like, I'm a pretty good breakfast.
I thought you were going to say that shitty chili with noodles in it.
Oh, my God.
I put noodles in my chili too.
You know, now I have
I can't
to
wait.
make
I
two
can't wait.
batches of
I
chili.
can't wait
wouldn't.
for the next porch party.
I make two batches
I
of
ate the
chili.
shit out of that non-noodle stuff this year, though.
I think you put some on the
I'd make
Merkley
it-
dogs.
I did.
I'd make him pick the noodles out.
No, I'm not that mean. Hey, I know it's sad and it's tough, but hopefully we've entertained your Wednesday a little bit. Or if you're listening to it on a Thursday or a Friday or whatever,
Monday.
whenever you're listening to it, this comes out on a Wednesday. But it's time for us to call it quits. But it's one more chance for us to go around the table
Unamas.
with the last pass, brought to you by Hopf Outdoor Power.
The Last Pass is proudly brought to you by our friends at Hopf Outdoor Power. Big Mace has a Cub Cadet. Esquire has a Kubota Zero Turn. And Smoke has a Kubota B-Series tractor. You could say we're big fans of what Hopf Outdoor Power has to offer. It's time to mow responsibly and upgrade your rig. Want to mow quick, save some time, get a Zero Turn. Need something a little more than a lawn tractor? Check out their Kubota compact tractors today. No time like the present for an upgrade.
All right, big fella, what you got?
I've kind of taken a vow that I'm gonna help out. I'm gonna spread the word. I'm gonna hear ye for our buddy Rusty and his wife, lovely wife Courtney, and with their merchandise store. As you see here, I've got some of the bracelets that are going around for sale now. For the Courage for Courtney cause, I've got one on. They come in adult sizes, which is awesome. They got an
I was going
adult-
to say, those couple you got
yeah,
there. I
that
don't know
right
that
there is
they,
not going to fit you or me or David, but
Yeah.
that one might. But so go to our Facebook page. We've shared it a couple times. We can put the link in the description and all that stuff. But our friends at Branded by Woods have got a really cool merchandise store set
Yep.
up with shirts, long sleeve tees. They got toddler shirts, youth, the whole works. And then I heard today that they are putting they're going to put these bracelets on the store as well. They're $3 for the bracelets, and everything. All the proceeds are going to go to her and to help basically finance her fight with cancer. So anything we can do, like I said, we've taken a vow that we're going to try to help out as much as we can. We're going to try to help them with they're having a big benefit for her on July 13th. Yeah, July 13th at Venue 1408. That should be a good time. I know for a fact they got the band locked in for the evening's entertainment. It's going to be a dine and dance. I think there's going to be some silent auction things that they're going to have going
I
on.
thought maybe they want me to warm up the pipes.
Well,
and-
yeah, it might be a live auction.
Sold.
Yep, you never know what goes on. But Anyway, that's all I got. Just if Courtney, if you're listening to this in listener land, just let you know that you're not in this alone, and we're gonna do what we can do to kick this cancer's ass.
There we go. Smoke Dragon.
Here we go.
I don't have a whole lot. It's been busier than a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest this week. Can't seem to get ahead.
Now, here's the real question. Is the one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest really that busy, or is he just getting his ass kicked?
I mean, if he's winning, he's busy.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
Unless it was a
How big's the nub on the other side?
a legless competitor with no legs,
Mm-hmm.
then it might not be so bad.
Yeah.
We digress. At any rate, I think the biggest thing this week, other than just a shit ton of the sports action and the running around action and stuff and work, is Sunday. I got to go do a school function on a Sunday.
yeah.
evening. And the oldest boy there, he's academically wise, doing pretty good. So
Yeah.
you got to go to this thing and
Top 10% banquet.
yeah, that was it. And so pretty proud of the little fella there
Mm-hmm.
because he's real good with his sports. And I always told him, hey, that's fine. You got to do good in your school too. Because I was a shit student. I just didn't give two hells about anything really other than getting out of school. So, anyway, just kind of fueled the fire this week. Yeah, that a boy. And,
Yeah.
makes me feel not so shitty about spending all this money on, games and baseball bats and gear for all the games and paying to get in the games and paying to be able to play the games.
All right, Casey, what do you got?
The only thing I have to add is that boy needs to wear slacks because he's got his daddy's shins right now.
Yeah, it's a family trait.
That's a tough spot.
If we were perfect, none of the rest of you would get any pussy.
There we go. I don't have anything other than we're just in the grind of
Here it is, boys.
baseball, and I just can't believe we're into May. Like it's stupid scary. We're into May. But it's good. May brings
Flowers.
April showers.
Flowers.
April showers bring May flowers.
That's it. But
In like a lion, out like a lamb. So looking forward to May. Like I don't know why I say that. Like I got something big planned. It's just another month. You may. And with that, 231 is a wrap. We'll see you next time.
Dutchman out.
That's for now.